Hey guys, welcome back to Click Academics. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to evaluate a function by graphing. So let's say we have the function f of x is equal to 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. And we want to find the value of f of 1. What many people out there would do in an instant like this, you would simply just plug in x for 1, right? So this would be 2 times 1 squared plus 3 times 1 plus 1. 1 squared is 1, so we have 2 times 1 plus 3 times 1 plus 1. This is equal to 2 times 1 is 2 plus 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1, which is equal to 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 1 is 6. So 6 is our value for f of 1. However, in cases where you don't get the function and you simply have the graph of the function, you can't do this because you have no function to plug in 1 in. So what I'm going to do is let's first graph this function, and then I'm going to be teaching you guys how to evaluate a function by looking at the graph. So let's first go ahead and graph 2x squared plus 3x plus 1, and I'm going to make a quick chart. So we have our x values, we have f of x, we have our y values. So f of x, So if x, let's start with 0. If x is 0, our function f of x is, remember, it's 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. So let's just plug in a couple of values so we can graph this function. If x is 0, then f of 0, this would be equal to 2 times 0 squared plus 3x plus 1, which is equal to 0 plus 1, which is equal to 1. So if x is equal to 0, f of x is 1. So we have 0, 1, which is our first point. 0, 1. Now let's try x for 1. So we have to evaluate f of 1, which is 2 times 1 squared plus 3 times 1 plus 1, which is equal to 1 squared is 1, so 2 times 1 plus 3 times 1 plus 1, which is equal to 2 plus 3 plus 1, which is equal to 6. So we have 1, 6 now. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. No, this would be 6. So that's our next point. Now let's do one more. Let's do f of 2. So for f of 2, this would be 2 times 2 squared plus 3 times 2 plus 1. This is equal to 2 squared is 4, so we have 2 times 4 plus 3 times 2 plus 1. This is equal to 2 times 4 is 8, plus 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1, which is equal to 8 plus 6 is 14, plus 1, which is equal to 15. So now we have 2, 15. So 2 is over here, and 15 is somewhere up here. So now let's do our negative values. Let's plug in -1. So now f of -1, this is equal to 2 times -1 squared plus 3 times -1 plus 1. This is equal to -1 squared is 1, so 2 times 1 plus 3 times -1 plus 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times -1 is -3 plus 1. 2 times negative 3 is negative 1 plus 1, which is equal to 0. So we have negative 1 comma 0. So negative 1 is over here. So, and now let's plug in negative 2. F of negative 2, this is equal to 2 times negative 2 squared plus 3 times negative 2 plus 1. Negative 2 squared is 4, so we have 2 times 4 plus 3 times negative 2 plus 1. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6 plus 1. 8 minus 6 is 2 plus 1, which is equal to 3. So f of negative 2 is 3, so we have negative 2 comma 1, 2, 3. And now let's plug in negative 3. Negative 3 is equal to 2 times negative 3 squared plus 3 times negative 3 plus 1. Negative 3 squared is 9, so we have 2 times 9 plus 3 times negative 3 plus 1. 2 times 9 is 18, plus 3 times negative 3 is negative 9 plus 1. 18 plus negative 9 is the same thing as 18 minus 9. 18 minus 9 is 9, so we have 9 plus 1, which is equal to 10. So I have negative 3 comma 10. 10 would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So somewhere over here. And now I can go ahead and connect our points here. So if I connect our points, I would have something like this. And now, let's say we want to find f of negative 1, right? So f of negative 1, what is this equal to? Well, we would go to negative 1, which in this case is this, and what is our y value? 0, right? So f of negative 1 would be 0. Now, if we want to find f of negative 2, we go over to negative 2, 1, 2, so negative 2, and then we would find our y value for negative 2, which is 1, 2, 3. So f of negative 2 is 3. Now let's say we would want to find f of 1. We would go to our x value for 1, and we would find our y value, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So f of 1 is 6. And we could essentially do this with all points. So if we have a graph in an equation, and if we want to find, let's say, f of a number a, we would go to the x value of a, and then we would find the y value for that corresponding x value. So that is how you evaluate a function from a graph.